Mark Henry back on the On Your Mark show on 105.4 RPW, PeterPulseRadio.com. Powered and sponsored by Epic Sports Apparel. Every play I compete. Got two guys here that are doing it big. They're located in the DFW area. They're working with kids. We got Brandon Noohi, who's a quarterback specialist, and Quan Harper, who works with receivers and running backs. We're going to dive into this and what they're doing with kids, how they're training them, and the important things that kids need to be working on to get that shine, to get that playing time. These two better football guys in the area, man. Come on in, Brandon. We'll start with Brandon Noohi, and then we'll dive in with Quan Harper. How's it going, fellas?
Good, man.
Good. Appreciate you having us.
Man, I appreciate you guys joining me here on the On Your Mark show. Brandon, let's tell me where you came from, kind of what you're doing, working with kids now.
Okay. Brandon Noohi. I went to UC, graduated from UCO, played quarterback there through 2009, 2010. Took a little bit of hiatus, moved to California. Worked with them in the family business, but realized it just wasn't me. And, my passion is to, focus on those younger guys and really develop them. I had a time, especially in my journey, trying to be a quarterback, trying to make it an undersized guy, dealing with, the stresses that college life does and, having an opportunity and succeeding at it. But, once I took, that, advantage of that opportunity and just realized, man, that my passion is to really, train quarterbacks and to really build up that next generation. I ended up moving down to Texas with one of my college roommates, Bernard Daniel. And then from there was working at Game On, doing sports performance training, just trying to find my way. And, it took one kid, Skylar Beno out of Coppell high school at the time, and, just started building it from there. And, he ended up committing to West Texas, and, it started to trickle from word of mouth. And, eventually I ended up meeting Quan. Funny story, we used to, we played against each other at the time, so we never knew each other. And, but the good news is, we're in the fold and we're really working building these guys up. So it's been a really cool ride for the past 6 years.
Most definitely. Quan, come on in and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, yeah. My name is Quan Harper, man. I train receivers and running backs. I started playing ball in Cedar Hill. Went to school in Oklahoma at ECU, Eastern University. From there, I tried to go pro. I tried to play overseas. I did that a little bit. CFL didn't work. NFL didn't work, but I had my shots, and I don't regret it. I got there and I did my best. So now I'm doing this training stuff. But what's crazy is I met Brandon through my big brother from college, Shad. So I met him through my brother, and we've been bonding since then, bro. And I just been following behind Brandon, man, because he's been doing it longer than me, man. I've been just picking up the knowledge he been giving me. So we've been running with it, and we've been growing and just building a family with these kids. And it's just more about giving back, bro. We never had it growing up, so we give it back 10 times more than what most people expect us to do. So we do more than the average, but just giving back, fam. That's the biggest thing with us. You don't see that a lot, especially out of males. Male figures is a big thing nowadays. We need that. So I take a lot of pride in these kids, giving back the knowledge I get. So is Brandon. He do the same thing. All the knowledge he gets, he gives it back to the kids, and we love it. We enjoy it, and I feel like we both get a rise or get a high out of our kids succeeding and learning and just want to learn more, bro. So that's what we do, man. We just been grinding and just building and having fun with it, So that's us.
Most definitely, and that's why we reached out to you. Appreciate you joining us here. Now, Brandon, we'll start with you. Quarterback position is one of the toughest positions. You talk about some of your personal struggles, with being a quarterback. University of Central Oklahoma is nothing to sneeze at. That's top-notch competition. East Central as well. With Quan, I know both of those schools very well as far as college level. What are you telling your guys now? Because that's one of the marquee positions, and Quan will come in with you secondly with the receivers and running backs. What are you telling your guys about those pitfalls and challenges?
Man, it was a long journey. But I would just say, man, each day, this is a 365-day operation. It doesn't just start and stop with just training with us a few days a week. You know, it's just like, what are you doing outside when no one's watching, right? And just, you know, you got to constantly build those calluses, constantly, you know, go through adversity and really be able to, you know, channel that and do and be the best you can. You know, you want to, I always try to say, I'm not trying to make you like a Kyler Murray, a Tom Brady. I'm trying to make you the best version of you. You know, what are your strengths? Let's work on those. Your weaknesses, let's continue to chop wood, right? Because I feel like a small kid like I was, you know, during the time, you know, nobody believed in me. Nobody thought I was going to be a quarterback and, you know, be able to have the success I had. And, you know, my thing is, you know, a lot of people are going to, you know, tell you that you can't do something. And, you know, you got to have, you know, keep that glass half full and, you know, create optimism for yourself and just be able to push each day. You know, there's going to be some good days and there's going to be some bad days. And Coach Quan will tell you, you know, when I see those bad days, I just go at them, like, you know, because that's what the defense is going to do. They're just going to yap at you. They're going to say what you can't do. And all I tell them is, guys, you're one play away, you're one throw away from getting back, you know, and getting back in that rhythm, because quarterback is a sensitive position, right? Because, you know, if you throw picks and somebody looks at you and snarls and things go bad, but when you win, you're on a high, you know, everybody's looking at you. So you got to be even keel with this entire thing. And I think it really applies to life. You know, you're going to go through ups and downs and all through these valleys, but you got to stay even keel because there's a lot of people watching you and there's a lot of people, you know, counting on you. So you got to be that leader, you know, and those guys who choose to be quarterbacks, I mean, you're a leader, whether you like it or not. You know, you're the CEO of that team. You got to run it like a company. And so, you know, they go as you go. So that's kind of how I try to, you know, tailor that and use those analogies and really build these guys to be leaders, because not everybody's going to make it, but you can still take these tools and apply them each day in your life. So it's really what I try to install in my men. So.
Same question, Quan.
For me, I tell my kids, you know, put God first, of course, but you know, have fun, bro. Like me and Brandon, we've been there before, so it's gonna be days where it's hard. It's gonna be days where it's like, I don't want to do it today, you know. But if you want to be great, you gotta find it within and just get to it. You gotta grind, bro. So my whole message is just to have fun, you know, dig deep and, you know, do more than the average. And someone's always watching you, whether you know it or not, you know. So it's always this press on. If you don't know something, ask questions. So no dumb question, bro.
No doubt, and that's the thing that kids have to remember.
No dumb.
That's a key in the classroom as well. No dumb question is a dumb question, and make that question there where it's second nature to you when you get in the game, and that's part of you guys being the coach, and as well as being in the player situation and being in, you know, in the fire, so to speak. But now let's
man,
you gotta tell them that, and that's the thing that they got. That's the thing that they got. That's the thing that they got to recognize when they're trying to do these things, because you know, and like you said, Brandon, you preparing them for life as well, because everybody's not going to make it to the NFL. Everybody's not going to make it to a certain level of college. You have to be able to put that suit and tie on, go into an interview, and you're on an interview every time you get that snap, every time you get that ball in your hands, and that's the way you take it into the professional realm once you get out of sports. Now let's dive into a little quarterback play here, and then we'll also go into wide receiver and position specific things here. But let's start with the QB position. Brandon, what are you teaching your guys about the quarterback position to be successful? What are the keys?
I mean, I think the first thing I roll out is, you know, the 11 commandments of a quarterback. It's kind of funny, but, you know, Bill Parcells told Tony Romo that a while ago. And my dad, it was this crazy story. You know, I went through a time where, man, I didn't know if this was for me. I didn't know if I was ever going to start a college game. I had to transfer from Southeastern, you know, had to battle out some guys. And, you know, my dad rolled it out to me, the 11 commandments of a quarterback. And, you know, I really went with it. I'll send you it, but, you know, it's a longer, you know, message.
I like it.
It really emphasizes. It really emphasizes, you know, on focusing on your guys, knowing your own players, you know, Don't hit the panic button. Don't be a celebrity QB. I mean, it emphasizes on a lot of different things that it creates this mold that you want to live by, especially, you know, in your play. And I put it in my locker in college, and we were battling out of position, and I constantly read it. And just so happens this guy didn't do very well, you know, and I got in again, and I never left the field again. And I applied all those, you know, commandments throughout the entire process. So I would say I really try to create a college atmosphere as if these guys are already in college, and because that's where they want to be essentially. So from the very beginning, if you're a junior high kid, I'm treating you like a high school. You're a high school kid, you're in college. We're learning how to dissect coverages, pre-snap and post-snap indications. We're learning, you know, basically corners leverage if they're soft or they're pressed, how you can read little tendencies and leverage to see, you know, what type of ball you got to throw versus what coverage. We also teach about balance. I'm more of a fast twitch kind of guy. I like to throw off platform a lot, because a lot of times you're not going to just be able to sit in the pocket and comb your hair, right? You're going to have to be able to funnel and make you know, make chicken salad out of, you know what, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be able to have that ability.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not necessarily being fast, but it's being twitchy and slight movement in the pocket and being able to throw off platforms, such as the guys you see now that are having crazy success, because they have the ability to move outside the pocket. And it gives these young men, you know, some hopes who aren't just 6'5", you know, and, you know, has a cannon for an arm. If they can move a little bit and avoid things and keep their eyes downfield, you got a shot here, because I was one of those guys, you know, and that's me. You know, I wasn't a big 6'4" guy, statured pocket passer. I was a dual threat who, you know, tried to work, you know, within those rules and discipline and work in the pocket. So that's really what we try to learn. I mean, these 7th graders are learning everything from cover 0 to 4 and knowing pre-snap and post-snap and how to pick up and notice that a blitz is coming off the edge. And so that's what I really try to challenge these guys with. You know, we're in a group chat and I'm constantly feeding them knowledge and information over the years that I've learned from some great coaches. And then I just to try to apply it to them. And, you know, the thing is I always tell these kids, you know, how you do anything is how you do everything. You know, you're going to be lazy about things and just barely do your homework. You're going to do the same thing in quarterback training. You're going to take it as serious and apply it. You see the changes in the development within months. So.
Now, Quan, let's talk about the receiver and running back position. Kind of along the same lines what Brandon was talking about. You know, for those skill set, the guys that you're training, what are you getting on them about? You know, the intricacies. It's more than just catching touchdowns and, you know, I'm the man.
Yeah. For me, it's more like everybody wants to go full speed. You know? Everybody wants to go 100 miles per hour. Nobody wants to tempo it. Nobody wants to change tempo and read defense on the fly and, you know, make adjustments on the fly. Like as a quarterback, you have to know how to step up, maneuver, and read. As a receiver, running back, you gotta know how to step up, block, read the defense. Is he reading high? Is he low? I'm teaching my receivers and running backs how to see things as they're moving and have good feet work at the same time. You gotta have great feet and great vision to be a receiver or running back. You gotta be able to catch and read. You know, you can't be one-dimensional. You can't be just a running back and can't catch the ball. You can't be a dash running back and can't make moves on this. You know what I mean? You can't be dimensional. So I'm teaching my kids how to do everything in one setting, but make it easier. You know, don't overthink the game. Let the game come to you, but at the same time, learn it. Ask questions. Ask him how is he reading this? Did he see this? And as you line up, you know, do the same thing. So you see he's airing cut too high, you know, he's gonna go out. You know, it's little things like that, little things that you can critique and magnify. It'll make the game so much easier, and it'll come to you slower. So my whole thing is just, you know, get out there and really, you know, visualize your route. See how they gonna move before you run your route. If they do this, react to it. You know, don't be a robot. Don't be just oh, okay, I'm gonna do this right here and it's gonna work. You gotta make adjustments. You gotta be able to do everything and be not perfect, but be, you know, adaptable to every situation. Because that's how football is. You might get a blitz. You might have to be a hot route right now. So you gotta be able to just react and have fun at the same time and don't be overwhelmed with the process. The process is a long journey. You know, you're not gonna learn off the back. You're gonna learn as you go through the game and get hit a couple times and get that kill shot. But it's just about, you know, being fast when you have to be fast, learning all the time, reading the defense, asking questions. That's my biggest thing, bro. So that's how I learned the game. I learned the game just like that. As a slot receiver, being a little guy, across the middle is the worst part of the field, bro. So I learned how to get across the middle and find that zone and sit, or wrap that running back, wrap that linebacker and sit behind him. Little things like that, bro. It's just like you have to learn that. You have to learn that, So that's my biggest thing, man. Is tempo, and just reading defense, really.
Man, well, it's definitely all about everything that you guys are saying. Again, this is Mark Henry on the On Your Mark Show, 105.4, RPWP. Brandon Noohi, Quan Harper, these guys work together to get these guys right, starting with the younger guys, and they have high school guys as well. We're talking a little football here. Football season's over with. But since both of you guys could speak on this, what are you telling you guys about being marketable as far as when it comes to recruiting? I mean, you guys are both probably heavy on social media, and you're getting to be around these kids that are up and coming. Everybody's hung up on the offer. Everybody's hung up on I want to be Division I. Everybody's hung up about they want the limelight. What are you sharing with your guys about the recruiting process and what, in your opinion, what makes them marketable to college coaches?
Good question. I would say right now, as grown men, we live off a resume. For those guys right now, Twitter is your resume. So whatever you put on that thing, you got to hold yourself accountable, right? Create professionalism. Also create a strategy to where, it can get guys, you can get guys seen. Okay. And, I would just say right now, as far as recruiting goes, you can't really control that. But you can control your play. You can control how you compete, right? You get in these camps, you show them why you're the baddest dude there. When you go train, you show them why you're the baddest dude there. We create a lot of uncomfortable situations in training, especially with doing 7-on-7 with some of Bernard Daniels' college kids. And we'll throw like a guy like Sam or a guy like Trey in the mix. And now they're going against 22-year-olds, 20-year-olds. And it just shakes them up, but it also prepares them, for everything, every situation that they're going to see. But I'd say as far as just being marketable, man, just keep yourself clean, stay out of the noise, stay true to yourself. You represent your family and you represent the name on that back, right? And you also, represent a community, and you've got to, be the one that leads by example. You don't necessarily have to be the most vocal, but let your play do the talking, but also encourage your men, because every college recruiter is going to go to people that actually really know you and your college coaches. If you're a guy who shows up late, you're not diligent with anything, they're going to say that because that's their reputation on the line as well. And when you get in the college game, it's a business, right? And so what have you done for me lately? It is a business. And sir. It's a serious situation to where you are a brand for yourself, because you're going to take that school name, but that brand is going to move on to a professional setting, and it's going to have your name on the back. So you got to represent yourself and your people, and kind of ignore the opinions of others, the people who don't know what's really going on with you. You're going to have that outside chatter because you're good, right? And you just got to stay true to yourself, man. Like Quan said, God first. And let everything else fall in play, and stay true, and just stay humble, And once you get that opportunity, man, it's just the beginning, I tell my kids when, one guy got a couple of offers, I was like, I want you to remember the moment when you didn't have anything. That's how you have to treat this situation. You still have to be hungry, kid. It ain't over, because I promise you there's another kid or 2 or 3 kids. As soon as you step on that campus, they're waiting for you. So you're going to have to show up. Nothing's guaranteed.
Ooh, damn.
Speak on it, Quan.
Man, so it's crazy. I got a kid named Reagan Carter, man. He was my first kid I ever trained, man. And he had no letters. He was like, kind of like down in the dumps. He was giving up on football. And this year, I think like November or something like that, he had like 13 offers off the back. but they all are D2 in like NAIA schools, I think. But it's just the fact that he has offers now, like 13 offers and come from 0. But now he has like 21 now. But it's the fact that he was that he kept pressing, you know. He kept working. He kept asking me questions. How do I get better, coach? How do I do this? And he put himself out there on social media as far as, you know, like Brandon said, branding himself, marketing himself, and they found him. So it's like they'll find you, bro. Like any school, they'll find you. Like don't ever get down in the dumps, because it's so many schools out here that need players. They have money, you know. You market yourself, the way you brand yourself, the way you know present yourself to coaches and social media, it's going to determine like what, you know. If you come out there with a, you know, I'm cocky, I'm this guy, and whoop, and you have no letters, you're going to continue to have no letters, because you're just big headed. You're not trying to grow, you know. But like Reagan, he was so hungry, bro. He stayed at it. He stayed working by himself. His dad recorded his film. You know, it's little things like that. It shows a coach that, oh yeah, I need him on my team. I need him to come play with me because he's dedicated. He's ready to come out here and ball when nobody's watching. You know, we can go 0-10, and I know he's gonna come out there and put a football field. So I always tell my kids, just play ball, man. Just play. You put your resume on film and on that field, and them coaches are gonna find that film, and they're gonna study the whole film and see how you run your routes, how you do your tackling or your blocking, you know, all that stuff, bro. It's just little things like that. If you can get out there and keep a positive attitude. If y'all down by 100 points and you still going hard, man, coaches love it, man, because you're in the game. You're not you know feeling bad about yourself. You're in the game. You're having fun. You're trying to win. You're doing your best. So I always tell my kids, just play, man. They'll find you. They'll find you. Anybody will find you. If they want you, they'll come get you.
Yep.
I mean, I tell my kids, man. Yep.
No matter what division.
Don't matter
if
what
you're good
division,
enough, they're gonna find you.
They're gonna find you. They're gonna find you, and that's the kind of thing that, you know, I tell kids in conversation, or parents as well. You know, don't worry so much about the division. If they got a plan for you, if they want you and they see you, you know, go where you want it. Go where they have a plan for you. Doesn't matter what division.
Correct.
Professionals will find you anywhere. I mean, look at D3, Mary Hardin Baylor, national champions, playing one of the top Division III conferences in the country, putting people in the league as we speak. So, you know, it's not about where you're at, it's where you're going and how you make the best situation. And both of you guys seem to hit on that right off the top. Now, before we get out of here, Brandon, Quan, tell everybody where they can find you. Tell everybody, you know, your company and who you're working with, so they can get hold to you guys.
Well, I'm independent. Next Gear QB, you can find me on Twitter at NXTQB11, and also on Instagram. You can find me at Next Gear QB, and also Facebook as well. So I go on 3 different platforms. Right now, I work out of the DFW area with A+ D1 right now that I'm in contact with, but also, you know, Creekview High School, and we used to, you know, train up at Trinity High School as well too on some. But, you know, depending on the area right now, really focused in my trainer business in the Carrollton area. So they can definitely get in contact with me through email, which is all posted on all different, you know, social media platforms, and, you know, I'll get back to them as soon as I can.
Again, Quan, tell everybody where they can find you at on Twitter.
Okay, my Twitter is __ WRGURU. That's wide receiver guru, and it's the same thing for Instagram. My website is on my Instagram. In my Twitter, it's offseason258.com. And my email is on there. Everything else is on there. Y'all can find me with Brandon at Creekview on Saturdays, Trinity sometimes, and Arlington High sometimes too. But I post everything on Twitter, so I just look out for it, man.
Most definitely, we're gonna look out for you both. That's Brandon Noohi and Quan Harper, man. Go ahead, Brandon.
I said, hey, and if it ever gets, we ever have bad weather, we're plus D1.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So,
Yeah.
No doubt. Most definitely.
Facility.
Great facility.
Shout out
to
to
Akeem. Yeah, shout out to A1D1 and Keep Talib and those guys over there. I was actually over there when they first opened it a couple of years ago. Get at those guys again. Thank you for joining us on the On Your Mark Show on 105.4 RPWP. ThePulseRadio.com. We'll take a quick break, commercial break here on the On Your Mark Show.